The domestic stock markets are facing a difficult week, with the key indices falling sharply in early trading on Friday. The Sensex dropped over 1400 points, while the Nifty fell more than 1%, reflecting weak global trends and continued selling by foreign investors. As a result, the market value of companies listed on the Bombay Stock Exchange (BSE) decreased by nearly 7 lakh crore, leading to a drop in investor confidence. Donald Trump's new tariff threats and the absence of positive news have added further pressure. Retail investors already dealing with losses are now unsure whether this downturn will continue or if there will be a recovery. Dr. V.K. Vijayakumar, Chief Investment Strategist at Geojit Financial Services, mentioned that stock markets do not like uncertainty, and uncertainty has been increasing since Trump became president. His frequent tariff announcements have been affecting markets, and the latest 10% tariff on China confirms that Trump plans to use the early months of his presidency to threaten countries with tariffs and then negotiate favorable deals for the US. Here are the main factors contributing to the stock market drop on Friday. Number 1. Trump's tariffs. On Thursday, US President Donald Trump announced that tariffs on Mexico and Canada will start on March 4, and China will face an additional 10% tariff from the same date. These tariffs had been delayed for a month, but Trump confirmed they would take effect as planned. He claimed without evidence that illegal drugs are still being smuggled into the US from Mexico and Canada at high and unacceptable levels, and until this is addressed, the tariffs will be enforced. Trump also stated that China, which already has a 10% US tariff, will face an additional 10% tariff starting March 4. Number 2. Fund rotation ahead of MSCI rebalancing. MSCI's rebalancing, effective after Friday's trading session, is expected to bring passive inflows of about 1 billion. The biggest change is that Hyundai Motor India will be added to MSCI Global Standard Indexes, marking the only Indian large cap stock to be included in this review and seeing the largest weight increase among Indian stocks. Number 3. Broad market sell-off. The broader market saw significant declines with widespread selling pressures pushing the indices lower. The Nifty small cap index fell by 2.09%, dropping 317.3 points to an intra-day low of 14,839. The Nifty mid-cap index also dropped by 1.89%, losing 933 points and falling to an intra-day low of 48,203 points. Major sectors including metal, realty, auto and media were all deeply affected, each dropping by up to 2.5%. Number 4. Continued selling by foreign investors. Foreign institutional investors (FIIs) sold shares worth rupees 556 crore, while domestic institutional investors (DIIs) bought shares worth rupees 1727 crore on February 27. So far this year, FIIs have sold a total of rupees 1,13,721 crore in equities. In January, they sold rupees 78,027 crore worth of shares, and in February they have sold 35,694 crore worth of equities so far. Number 5. Weak global cues. Stock markets in the Asia Pacific region were also lower on Friday, following Trump's confirmation of tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada. The Nikkei dropped 2.81%, the Topix fell 1.87%, the ASX 200 was down 1.03%, and the Kospi dropped by 2.74%. The CSI 300 index was also down by 0.6%. In the US, all three major stocks indexes closed lower. The S&P 500 fell 1.59%, continuing its downward trend for both the week and the month.